Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Say hello. Come on in. What's going on, people? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, Eleanor Sanctuary. What's going on, girl? What is going on? How's my baby doing? Hello, Mr. Maji. How are you? Hi, everyone. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Ẹ Miss Aminat. See, I told you we're gonna make it at 9 before the end of the month, another year. Happy New Month, everybody. Don't jinx it now. Don't jinx it. Leave it alone. Happy October. Thank you. Happy New Month. Hello, Mr. Speechless. How are you? No, there's none other Illinois Sanctuary. Been a minute. I've been good. How about yourself? Yes, we missed Thursday because I was at I had a seminar and had a legal training, and I was tired. Should be told. It was a whole day. It's like, and that was out of town, so I was like, I'm fessing me sometimes. Hi, everyone. Coming in. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Thank you. I appreciate you as well. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Let's talk immigration. Thank you. Maybe not. Maybe there's a change in my life. Maybe there's no change. Who knows? Maybe somebody new. Maybe somebody old. Maybe nobody. You did. I like trouble. Yeah, so I am an immigration attorney representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of state you live in. Once you come in, now, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome on board. We do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays. For the most part, once in a while, I got to take off just because, life happens. But every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. That's the plan. And that's the goal. And yeah. Whether we meet that goal each time or long, but that's the goal. But today, city time, y'all. It's going to be, knock on wood, it's going to be an excellent month. So contact information is 334-341-4475. info@𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓.com. That's the email to send inquiries to. Website is 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒒𝒐.com. I'm excited about this month, y'all. I know that God is still in the business of miracles. He is God who doesn't fail in spite of even plan fails. And it's a new month. It's a new beginning, new slate, another opportunity for us to enjoy and take advantage of God's blessings and God's grace and believe and speak into the future that it's going to be great for us in spite of it. I'm preaching to the choir because last week I had a generality case that just rocked my world. When I tell you that I sent over 1,000 pages of evidence in this case, and those people, but I had to tell myself, you know what? That's what they say. That's not the final report. So we're moving on to an appeal. And so you've got to pick you back. Hello, Miss Abdina, how are you? I got to pick up and know that if plan may fail, but God does not fail. So let's just keep going. It's going to be an excellent month. Let's speak it into existence. Speak it before we see it, and so shall it be. Once again, this is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration attorney representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Let's talk immigration, y'all. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Like and follow Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Hi, TikTok family. Same handle. It is at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. so that we can see properly, so I don't have to keep squinting my face, my eyes. So anyway, come on in. Let's talk immigration. You know the drill. If you've been here every Tuesdays and Thursdays, questions we do at the end of the topic. So what's the buzz that's been going on? It is this new policy on EAD, work permit. So let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll get to questions. So last week, or about 2 weeks ago, the Department of Homeland Security had actually put in, because I signed up everything immigration. They put on the website that they were, let me see this coming a little bit further. Okay. They were going to increase the period for which work permits will be valid for. And USCIS officially on, don't put me on that, hold on. It was on which day? I'll tell you exactly what day it was. That was, September 27, 2023. USCIS put out their own official alert saying that EAD's work permits, I-765 applications will now be valid for, when they issue that, your work permit will now be valid for 5 years. That trickles down and causes a domino effect in a lot of things, especially the fact that, number one, most states actually, when you apply for your driver's license or state ID, most states will give you your ID to be, if it's not, some states have standard, like in my state it's 4 years, and you renew, is it 4 years or 8 years? I can't remember, but there's some states that have standard, but most states will make your driver's license or state ID valid for the duration of your work permit. That's what they do. Which is just a little bit okay here. So what it's going to help as far as when you apply for your IDs and driver's license is, it will let them now be able to give you a much longer time on your driver's license, your state ID, based on this, because that's what they go by, right? So question is, and we've got this yesterday and today, we've got a lot of calls coming in primarily for this work authorization thing. So let's just tackle that, so we get all your questions answered. Hopefully get all your, hello Epic Movement, hello birthday mate, how are you? So who does this apply to, or when does it kick in? When is it applicable? Is it in effect? It is in effect. It went so initially when DHS released their fact documents, they said effective October 1st, 2023. So if you saw a video from me last week before USCIS actually put out their policy, it probably says October, but updated that to say that USCIS actually, the effective date for USCIS is September 27, 2023. So who qualifies for the 5-year work authorization? If you had your EAD approved prior to September 27, 2023, then you probably will most likely get the 2-year EAD work permit. However, if you file your I-765 application on or after September 27, 2023, or if your I-765 application is pending as of September 27, 2023, then you will also qualify for the 5-year period. So let me read exactly what USCIS says. Okay, so it says effective immediately, and it applies to applications for employment authorization I-765 that are pending, meaning they haven't made a decision in your I-765 application, or are filed on or after September 27, 2023, you will have a 5-year work permit. Okay, so that's it. If you've got, in other words, if you're going to be filing a new application September 27, 2023 and after, if you had already filed an application, whether it be a standalone or something that you filed based on a CA category asylum based on independent asylum based on adjustment of status, you will be receiving, and you filed that, even if you filed it before September 27, 2023, but USCIS has not made a decision on it, it hasn't been approved prior to that date, then you will be getting a 5-year work authorization. And this will apply to C8 category applicants, meaning you've got an asylum application pending, and you apply for work authorization, and it's approved on or after September 27, 2023. That also applies to those who have already been granted asylum status. So you are applying for, if you've been granted asylee status, you really don't even have to apply for work authorization. However, a lot of people feel much comfortable doing that. So if you've been granted asylee status, you've been granted your asylum, so you're seeking an don't quote me, but I think it's an A5 EAD work category, then you also qualify for the 5-year work permit. If you are someone who was granted withholding or removal, then you also will qualify for the 5-year work authorization. Most people will fall within that catch-all, quote unquote, pending adjustment of status application. Adjustment of status application means that you have filed or you're about to file. Pending means you've already filed, but adjustment of status, you filed or you're about to file I-485 application, green card application, and concurrently or subsequently, you're going to be filing a C9 work permit based on that I-485, and you do that on or after September 27, 2023, then you will be getting a 5-year work authorization. That's basically what they're saying. So because I see some questions about, okay, what about I filed it before they make this policy? As long as it has not been approved. So for instance, I had about 12 of those approved today. They were all filed, obviously, before September 27. Well, not obvious, but they were all filed before then. I would anticipate and expect that they stay true to their word, that as long as you filed, it was pending as of that, and they haven't approved it until that after that date, it will be a 5-year work permit. They send me a work permit for anyone who was approved after that date. In 2 years. Gentle lady leave me as the song goes. But anyway, let's just leave that alone, that they will do the right thing, because in the USCIS. But that's basically that. If you've been granted withholding, you've granted asylum, you've been admitted as a refugee, you've been you have a pending asylum case, and or you've got a pending application of adjustment of status, you're going to be filing. So for those who are just going to be filing their applications, and your category falls within those categories that are enumerated by USCIS that will qualify for a 5-year, then you're going to get a 5-year work permit, which is awesome. But this is it. Even though you're going to, even though you file for, I know what I'm saying, even though you file for the EAD, right? There is nothing that is mentioned in this policy that says whether or not, if you file a concurrent advanced parole application in I-131, there's nothing that says that clarifies for us whether or not that's also going to be issued for a 5-year period. I don't think it will, because if it was supposed to be that, then I think they would have included that in this policy. It's not part of it. So what most likely is going to be happening is, and I think that's part of what happened to some of my EADs today, because all of those except one, which was an asylum base, the other ones were C9, we filed either based of a renewal. And so, yeah, if you're renewing your application as well, that also covers, and I just saw a question, yes, if you're going to be filing a renewal application, you're also covered with that. So for those that we got today, save for the C8 category, I don't have an alert that they're concurrently filed I-131 applications were also approved. So it looks like they're going to be bifurcating the 765 applications and approve those, and then deal with the advanced parole. And most likely, if you guys remember, they've actually started separating those two applications for a while. So I guess maybe that's why they were doing that, because they were anticipating they were going to do this. And so, they would have to, adjudicate the advanced parole application separately while they go ahead and approve your EAD application, which most people don't even use advanced parole, truth be told. That's the truth. So that is basically what is going on in as far as this work permit with a 5-year rule. Some people, and I've heard that even some of my colleagues are like, okay, does that mean that it's going to take that long for them to adjudicate green card applications? No, it does not. It actually is saving, because you have they started 1 year, then 2 years, and a lot of people will get to the point where you have to renew your application. And in renewing your application, obviously, if you've already exhausted the 2-year period, that means your case was still pending at that time. So you're having to renew your work authorization. This is going to take that away, the need to renew every 2 years. That takes that away. And I think that is a great thing. I don't see why they're going to make something, then again, it's USCIS. They're going to create this policy, and then the new policy affects their ability to move cases faster. I'll give you an example. If you filed a VA case recently, y'all, when I tell you that I got receipt notices today in the office, so today is October 3rd, for VA cases that we filed in September, some less than a month ago. So they are trying the best they can to speed things up. Let's just see how that translates into other things. So that's basically what y'all need to know about this EAD thing. And that's all she wrote, people. All right, let's go to questions. Okay, let's go to questions. Hello, Ms. Akubina. How are you? I'm doing well. How about yourself? Does USCIS look into divorce, even if, once again, disclaimer, whatever questions you get answers to tonight or any night, whenever we do this, they are just general information, nothing specific to anybody's case. So please understand that general information did not, she didn't say that. She did not say that. She's just saying, basically, this is something that can help you. If you need to have anything specific to your case, that will require a proper paid consultation. You can call my office, 334-341-4475, olalayalawfirm.com. Very, very simple, very straightforward to be able to schedule your appointment whenever you feel like it. Okay. There are no updates, Mr. Kubin, and you would have heard from me. There are any updates. Hello, Mr. John. How are you? How was your weekend? And oh, by the way, happy belated Independence Day to all my fellow Nigerians 2 days ago. Home is still home. You're listening at the end of the day, right? So we just keep praying for our country, that God will continue to give us grace and give us good leaders. That's it. All right. So does USCIS look into divorce even if you did not submit a divorce decree? So if you're talking about if you are applying for an immigration benefit that requires you to submit a divorce decree, copy of a divorce decree, your case is not going to be approved unless you submit that. So if you did not submit it, say for instance, a regular marriage case, and you've indicated that you were previously married, a VAWA case, whatever case is applicable in your situation, and you do not submit that, USCIS obviously is going to send you a request for evidence for you to submit your divorce decree. So it's not something you can avoid based on what immigration benefit you have filed. Okay, I filed VA and got the receipt. My asylum case is in court and the individual hearing is scheduled. Can we still get my court case dismissed with a VA receipt? Yes, you can try. General information. Yes, you can try and to see if you can do that. Yeah. I actually have 2 cases that I sent out today. That's what we're doing. One is scheduled for a master calendar hearing in December. Another is end of November. So let's see if that actually helps. Okay. Uh TikTok. Hello, beautiful TikTok people. If this people don't stop calling my son, like how are you? Anyway. Uh Happy New Month, Miss Delia. Happy New Month to you as well. Hello, Mr. Meffel. How are you? Prince Jeje1, can I talk to you? I mean, if you have a case to discuss, please contact my office 334-341-4475. I do not, emphasis on do not, offer free consultation. I don't. If you need free consultation, you can go to the Catholic charity offices or just go to ela.org and they will give you people who do that. I don't. This is free enough. So, but if you need to talk about your case, 334-341-4475. Thank you, Ms. and Miss Sanction. Can someone that entered US through Mexico get work permit after a year of entry? What is the basis for the work permit? Can you travel with an unexpired passport as a foreigner? What do you mean, can you travel with an unexpired passport? What do you mean by that? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to check that. Okay. If you apply for a refugee travel document after biometrics, do you know how long to get it approved? It depends on USCIS. Okay. Can y'all see me on TikTok? Because I don't know if y'all give me 1 second on TikTok. You may have lost me there. Because I just realized that. Okay, yeah, I figured. All right. Can someone let me know if you can hear me now? I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, am I back now? Yes, no? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Um I don't know why this keeps doing that. Hold on 1 second. TJ. T. TJ. Okay. I think whatever you're doing is affecting. Can you please get off the phone and let your friends know you call them when you back when your mom is down? Because your phone is connected to this one and it's cutting.
I'll just not turn off because every time you turn do not disturb, I just turn it off. So
That
what? I'll just leave it on. Because normally when I turn it off, then it'll still be on, but I guess not. So I'll just turn it off. I'll just keep it on.
Yeah, yo, that's what's going on with the sound. My kid. Can you hear me now? Technology. I don't know why. Can you guys hear me on TikTok? Yes, no? Okay. T, please leave it off. All right, good. All right, let's go back. I'm sorry about that. Because it's like, what the heck is going on? Okay, I don't want to miss anyone's question. What's the timeline? 28. Can my fiance visa be denied if I receive food stamps? I'm a U.S. citizen. There's no reason why that should be denied because you receive food stamps. That shouldn't be your problem. Okay. If you file for asylum, can you travel outside the United States? Yes, you can, but you must make sure that you have an approved advance parole, an approved travel document, which is the I-131. When you before you travel, and you cannot travel back to the country you're seeking protection from unless it is absolutely necessary for you to go to that country, because then you don't want your asylum application to appear like it was a frivolous application. Filed for by a green card holder. What's next after biometrics and medical? Waiting for USCIS to either schedule an interview or making. I hope you make sure that you are eligible to apply for adjustment status in the country based on the fact that your spouse is a green card holder. Fianza visa has been approved. If U.S. citizen petitioner receives food stamps, that shouldn't be your problem. That shouldn't be a problem because if the person receives food stamps, general information, it might need to learn. So no, so let me just, if the person is, but K1 visa, I-129F petitioner receives food stamps, your concern, and I'm thinking that's what you're concerned about, it's probably, okay, how will that show that I would not become a public charge in the United States if my petitioner is getting food stamps? What the person needs to do, just like someone who was filing an A64, and which you're going to end up doing at the end of the day, is get someone, a joint sponsor, to also show that they are able to step into the shoes of the petitioner should they not be able to take care of you. So joint sponsor can also do like an I-134 application as well. If my VOD case was transferred, is that a good thing? So if you've been getting, thank you. Yeah, this is general information only, nothing specific to anyone's case. For case-specific advice, contact us at 334-341-4475. If you've gotten that alert that my VOD case was transferred, what's going on is this. USCIS earlier this year changed the filing location for VOD petitions to Nebraska Service Center. Whenever they give you your receipt notice, they receive your packet, they receipt those packages, send you the notices, and then what you get next is we transferred your file to the office having jurisdiction over your case. What's going on is, even though you're filing the case at Nebraska Service Center, the Monterey Center still has jurisdiction over VOD cases as we stand today. So all Nebraska Service Center is doing is receiving those packages, sending you receipt notices, and then transferring those cases to Vermont Service Center. And when they do that, they send you an alert saying we transferred your I-360 petition to the office that has jurisdiction over that. That office will contact you, yada, 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 and all that good stuff. So that's what's going on. My VOD is approved. Congratulations. But I didn't receive an interview notice, even though it's been 3 years now. 3 years since when? Okay. Y'all let me know if you're able to hear me back again. So I think we should be good on TikTok now. Okay. What's next after medical? Most likely an approval of your case. So, but I can't tell you that. That's just general information. Let's see. Okay. Are we still having sound issue on TikTok? Are we good? We're good. Okay. I found from June. I found from June, USCIS didn't send a receipt number. I heard they send my case to get second reviewed. If they didn't send you a receipt number, how do you know your case was being referred for review? I don't understand your question. I'm good. Okay, perfect. On I-767, well, you mean I-797C, action of notice cannot file in for my kids out of the country based on what? What is the immigration benefit that you were seeking? If you file for VAW and they only sent your EAD without prima facie, what does that mean? It just means that they sent your EAD without your prima facie. Okay. My husband's residency ends in Egypt this month, and he's going to Sierra Leone. Can NBC move his case? You got to make the request. My VAW got approved in July. Congratulations. What's the timeline for the I-485? They were filed concurrently. So, timeline, please go to uscis.gov/processing times. That is where you need to go. I do not decide how USCIS is going to process your case. However, the fact that you filed an I-485 concurrently does not mean that it had to have been approved at the time your VAW case was approved. And here's why. It retains a priority date, meaning the earlier you file, the better. But whenever you file a VAW case, USCIS is just holding your 485, whether you're transferring to a VAW case or you're filing a new one. They're just holding your 485 until your VAW petition has been approved. So what the 485 allows you to do is to be able to file for work authorization, file for advanced parole, travel and work while your VAW case is pending. It's not being adjudicated at all, even if it was filed concurrently, because it is solely dependent on the approval of your VAW case. When the VAW petition has not been approved, the Vermont Service Center transfers your case to the National Benefit Center. They decide whether or not they're going to schedule an interview. If an interview is scheduled, then it's forwarded to your field office. And then they'll schedule your interview. If an interview is not going to be scheduled, National Benefit Center does a final adjudication of your case. So filing it at the same time, that's what's going on. But since it's been filed at the time your VAW case was filed as well, you will not be waiting as long as someone who is just filing the 485 today because you have an earlier date, unless there is something in your record that's going to slow them down from approving your case. I applied for VAW in 2022. How long I wait before I receive prima facie? That's too long. That much I can tell you. Once I hit the 5-month mark with any of my cases, I want my life to go for a minute because it's like, okay, hello, knock, knock, who's there? You people, shutting back with way, yeah, that what's going on. And, they'll let me know if one has been issued, if it's going to be issued. I just need to know. But we're in October 2023. You should have received one. So contact them if you have an attorney in your case. Then, good evening. I've been trying to reach out to you, but no response. Amanda, if you've been trying to reach out to me on social media, on TikTok, we don't respond to. It's very clear. If you send a message, you get an auto response saying you have to contact us on Instagram. If you're trying to get a consultation, you have to schedule a paid consultation. So one of my assistants, Lydia, takes care of our DM messages. So you've got to go on Instagram to contact us or send an email to info@olalayelawfirm.com. If you've got a case to discuss, you have to do a proper consultation. That's what the policy is. Okay. If my spouse started a petition for someone in the past but didn't finish, can he do it again? Let me rephrase your question and tell me if that's what you're asking. Beckford, are you asking if your spouse had previously filed for someone in the past they were married to, that marriage ended? However, you're wondering if are they still eligible to now file for you being a new spouse, even though they had to file for somebody else? Is that what you're asking? Okay, so you have a temporary green card and you're wondering if you can file for your kids. But what do you mean by 797? It's not 767, 797C. Do, um, Vernon, are you saying you have a pending I-751 petition and you have an extension notice and you want to know if based on that you're still eligible to file for your kids that are currently outside the United States? Is that what you're asking? I'm an international student, cannot marry a man who has permanent residency based on marriage. Generally, you're if you are married to a green card holder and for you to adjust status, you must maintain status. You must be in valid status when you file your I-485. USCIS, I believe they're working for October. They're working on cases that were filed on or before September 1st. I think. Go to the Department of State visa bulletin. As long as you remain in valid status at the time you submit your I-485, then you should be fine. General information. Okay, but did he withdraw that petition? Ms. Beckford, did he withdraw that petition? You're welcome. Okay. '18 I-485 wasn't denied. VA and new I-485 filed in 2021. VA approval's priority date has old date. Why? Good question. And that's what I've been talking about for many months now. The reason why your VA approval's priority date has the old date of your filing is because the I-130 priority date was transferred to your I-360 VA petition. And if you filed your case in 2021, VA is currently taking about 3 years. If you filed yours in 2021, it's less than the number of person time. That's because your priority date from the I-130 that was filed for you was transferred to your VA petition. That's why your approval notice has that date that the I-130 was filed. So, Jimmy, if you go ahead and check the I-130 that was filed on your behalf, it will have the same date, the receipt date on that I-130 as your priority date on your VA approval notice. Okay. All righty. You shared it enough in your platform, so I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. Instagram people, I'm coming to you. I know we was last. Happy New Month, Mr. Lushala. How are you? Can I renew TPS if window my VA is pending? One has nothing to do with the other. When USCIS denies a VA expedited request, doesn't mean that they deny the whole petition or just expedited request, just the expedited request, and it would state exactly what they're denying. If another way to confirm that your VA case is still pending is putting your receipt number on the USCIS case status online, and then it will tell you what the status is. So that should give you some additional peace of mind. Will VA petitioners get the 5 years EAD work permit if you file if you file a C9? So they're very specific applicants that are getting the 5-year work permit. One of such a group of people is I-485 applicants. So if you filed your green card application concurrently with your VA petition, then and you filed it and it's still pending as of September 27, or you filed it after September 27, then you'll get the 5-year green card, 5-year work permit according to what USCIS is saying. I just got my EAD approved today. Doesn't mean I'm getting 5 years. That's what it should translate to. General information. I don't know, but that's what it should be. Okay. Yo, Instagram error, Joe. Yes, we made it, Miss Sanctuary. We made it at 9 o'clock. It's a miracle. Miracles will happen. I'm doing well, Blue Trillions. How about yourself? Hello, Evil Proud. How are you? I think I'm coming down with a cold. Yes, God's favor says happy blessed October to us all. Amen. Amen. We're gonna claim it. Gotta claim it and declare the victory. You gotta claim it. See it speak it until you see it. Thank you. What God cannot do doesn't exist. Preach it. You better believe it. Let me tell you something. Can I travel to a third country with my country passport while I have a pending adjustment, pending advanced parole and a green card? I go through it. Why are you traveling with a pending advanced parole if you have a green card already? I'm confused. If you have a green card, why are you using advanced parole? Yes, if you missed it, the topic what we talked about was the new policy on the EAD validity. Thank you, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. I appreciate that very, very much. Okay, so you have a pending asylum case, but you already got green card. So what are you generally? Obviously you have a green card, so that doesn't limit you from traveling. But because you're not a citizen yet, you cannot travel to the country that you're still seeking protection from, even though you have a green card, unless it is an absolutely necessary trip that you have to make. However, why do you still have a pending asylum case when you already have a green card? Why haven't you withdrawn your asylum case? I have a valid case pending since 2019. A lawyer made an inquiry for me, and USCIS replied via email that they're running a security check on it since then. What do I do? Please, that you're going to have to wait. Or do congressional assistance requests, ombudsman inquiry requests, and assistance, letting them know your case is also number of person time, what's going on. If all of that fails, you got an option to sue USCIS. Miss Sabine and Miss Sanctuary and the Sanctuary, like y'all need to you need to cool down. What is a rejected notice for I-797C form was submitted with an extra remittance fee not required for your application? Because that basically means you submitted the wrong form, even though you submitted something a fee that was much more. It is still considered an incorrect fee. So you have to be very precise with that. When filing the marriage-based green card, do letters from family and friends to support that the marriage is bona fide need to be notarized, or will it be like one that's doing too much? There's nothing that you can't do too much with USCIS. I have my clients notarize the letters, or if it's not going to be notarized, then make sure you say something to the effect of signed under the penalty of perjury. So that carries the same weight as something that is signed and notarized. Can I apply for I-765 after my 485 is already filed? Yes, you can. Can I apply for a work permit even after the application was withdrawn? If yes, what can I apply for? You've got to have a basis to apply for work permit. My I-45 was denied, even though I sent a letter for them to hold in abeyance. So, will I need to file a new I-45? How long ago was it denied? Because USCIS does that BS a lot, and that you can tell. I get my voice. I that just aggravates me because that's a waste of time for people, especially when you reach. But that happens. It happens a lot with the Atlanta field office. I don't know what group of people are working there, but that's where I had this issue. What I do in that situation is I've had it happen both ways. I have clients who are like, you know what, I'm just going to wait because I don't want to have to spend additional attorney fees and filing fees. And if I have clients say, I need to have my work permit, I need to make sure something is in the works, and don't want to file a new one. In the interim, what I do, especially when it's their error, with the understanding that you've got your proof that you sent in an advance request, meaning you have a copy of what you sent in and proof that it was delivered to them. Then you do a service request to reopen, saying, hey, I am going to be paying $675 for I-290B. Y'all dropped the ball on this, so y'all need to open and reopen. If they do not, then you do an ombudsman inquiry assistance request, letting them know, hey, I want people, they dropped the ball on this, tell them to reopen. And usually that has worked 100% of the time. And if all else fails, if you don't have time, you just want to move on and just be done with it, then you have the option to also refile a new one. How long does it take to bring my fiance here from the Netherlands? I can tell you that it takes about a year for the I-129F petition with USCIS. Hopefully that gets better. But how long it's going to take over there depends on how soon they schedule an interview and how soon NVC transfers the files. I have an R1 visa with a pending AOS. The EAD has been approved. Cannot combine a non-religious work with a religious work. Generally, it's advisable not to, but nothing says you cannot. Because then it's like, because an R1, unlike an H1B where it's a dual intent status, R1 generally isn't. So you're going to ask some attorneys who will say yes, and you ask some who will say no. I'm of the school of thought that until now, let me ask you this. Well, you have pending. I was going to ask for 360, obviously, because you have to file them by itself. So that's been approved. So I wouldn't see anything wrong with it. Keeping in mind, however, that you cannot use the R1 to work for another employer because it's employer specific, but the EAD can be used to work for anybody. But I just usually don't advise to do that. Can I answer that question? Do you handle EB2 for a rider who has been nationally recognized in Nigeria? I do EB2 cases, yes. What's the processing time for a fiance who lives outside the U.S. petitioned for by a green card holder who lives in the U.S.? A green card holder cannot petition for a fiance, so I'm not sure I understand your question. I got my 2-year conditional green card. Is it possible to convert this to an EB1 or 2 category instead of removal condition? My spouse and I considering divorce. No, it's not, because that's a green card. I mean, why would you want to convert a green card to a non-immigrant to a petition that's going to give you a green card when you already have a green card? If you and your spouse are considering a divorce, then when it's time for you to file an I-751, you file a waiver, a self-petition based on good fit marriage, but ended in divorce. So right now is when you need to gather your evidence in preparation for what's to come. But you're a green card holder already. You cannot. Can I be a supporting sponsor on an I-864 with my U.S. citizen spouse to meet up the requirements since I have EAD from asylum? Generally, you can't. as long as you're eligible. And one of the main things is that the intended immigrant's income is going to continue from that source after you have been granted the adjustment of status. Can I file a work permit even after my case was withdrawn? Based on what? On what basis? I need to call you tomorrow. Our number is 334-341-4475. You're not going to be speaking with me. You're going to be speaking with somebody on my staff that will be able to put you through to get the scheduled consultation. Can I-45 filing be expedited? You can expedite anything with USCIS if you have a reason to. Does the office that has jurisdiction over one's case contact you directly or your lawyer after they receive your application and send a receipt of proof they got your application? If you've got a lawyer in your case, it will proud. It's going to be the communication stays with your lawyer. If you communicate with them and your case is like a vagus, for instance, they will not give you any information unless you have indicated that you no longer have a lawyer and you want correspondence to be sent to you. But if being transferred has nothing to do with, as long as the lawyer is on your case, the information transfers with the case. I hope that answers your question. Oh, okay. How does the green card after spending 10 years work? Okay. So basically, and I think I understand what you're talking about. If you've been in the country for at least 10 years or more, undocumented, and you've been in the country 10 years or more, you've got a qualifying relative to show hardship, and you've got no criminal record, then you may be eligible to apply for cancellation or removal. However, and I think I know the post that you're talking about. If you look at that post, it's very clear that you can only apply for that benefit if you are currently in immigration proceedings, basically in deportation proceedings. Is it normal for one's work authorization to be pending since December 2021? What can be done? Also, VAL has been approved since May 2022. Nothing further has been heard. The first question I have for you is, what category work permit did you file in 2021? Did you file a C31 or a C9? If you filed a C31, then that's why it's been pending since then, because it would only be approved with your VAL case. However, if you got your VAL approved in May 2022, next question is, did you get an EAD issued to you when that was approved? Because if you've selected on your I-360 that you wanted one automatically approved, issued, then you should have received one as of May 2022. Was denied 1 week ago. Okay. Okay, just hello, Mr. Victor May. How are you? Victor May. Well, Victor May. What's going on? I filed for VAGO. My work permit. Can I file joint taxes with my abuser? Does it have any implications on my VAGO case? Generally, no. Disclaimer: general information. Generally, it should not. I'll probably say the word generally. They probably put my my photo with it on the dictionary, like antitoman law generally. For minor, are they going to issue work authorization? If you applied for them, they should. A friend moved and updated his address. USCIS sent him a notice to the new address and sent interview notice to the old address. He missed the interview. What are his options? He needs to call USCIS immediately, and he needs to tell his lawyer about what's going on, or he needs to find a lawyer to help him out. Let's see. When you say intending, does that mean I would maintain my asylum and status after green card is given on marriage grounds? You're not maintaining. If your asylum is pending, you're an intending immigrant because you're not an immigrant yet. Intending means you're about to be. You're welcome. Can I file for divorce in Nigeria after spending 9 years in the U.S.? Why in God's name would you do that? Have you not, let me adjust my seat. Why in God's name would you want to do that? Number one, you won't even qualify because you have to be domiciled in Nigeria as the petitioner if you do. But why in God's name would you want to do that? Huh? Any update on the Dignity Immigration Act? No. Okay. All right. I think I got all the questions. I think I did. I applied for a 𝒐𝒕 work permit renewal 1 month before my case was dismissed from court. Should I expect to receive a denial? Hopefully not. But if they pull up the record and they see that was dismissed, probably they would deny that. Can someone who is in removal proceedings with a pending prima facie file of prosecutorial discretion with the court? Generally, yes. Okay. Can we file? No, the work authorization was received. Also, the December 2021 was filed solely. Also checked off EAD upon approval, even after. Then you need to sit down with the lawyer. You need to sit down with the lawyer and figure out what's going on. They sent the work authorization and social security number, but not prima facie letter. I hope there's no problem. If you have a lawyer, have the lawyer contact them. My question is skipped. What's your question? You got to put your question up real quick. I don't. What's your question? Weasel _ what's your question? You are welcome. Can I file taxes after my asylum case is closed? Can you file taxes after your asylum case is closed? What do you mean, can you file taxes? Filing taxes has nothing to do with immigration. You're supposed to file taxes if you work and file your tax return. So I'm trying to understand what you mean. Weasel, what's your question? What's your question? What's your question? What's your question? Come on, let's go. We gotta go. Tommy's money. Y'all don't even understand. I'm always so excited to come to this live because whenever we have to miss it, and I had to last Thursday, I'm always looking forward to it. It's like, yeah, let's go. Because it's always a good place. It's a good atmosphere to come together and encourage one another. What's the new policy on EAD renewal for asylum seekers? What do you mean, what's the new policy? Can we file after 1 year of my sponsor spouse making above the poverty guidelines or enhanced? Are you talking about taxes? Like, do you have to, because the I-864 says something along the line of the last 3 years of your taxes? Are you talking about, is that what you're referring to, that you have to get all 3 years? Or can you go ahead and start now because you already have 2022 without having 2021 and 2020? Is that what you're asking? Thank you, Miss Avena. I'm telling you. Is that what you're asking? File taxes together, then that shouldn't be any problem. Is it safe to travel to a home country with a family approved green card when you have a pending asylum, but you have sent a withdrawal letter which was received but still in process? The fact, let me put it this way, Weasel. Even if you have your asylum case withdrawn and acknowledged, it's not necessarily safe in the sense of it may pose a problem for you when, not you, but it may pose a problem for somebody when you want to apply for citizenship, because you don't want to be seen as someone who lacks good moral character. Maybe you lied about what you. So I usually don't recommend travel until you become a citizen, unless it's absolutely necessary to do so. And when it says absolutely necessary, you must have documentation and evidence to show that was necessary for you to go back to your home country, in spite of having an asylum case withdrawn. The fact that you withdrew the case, or you withdraw the case, does not mean that your claimed fear does dissipate just like that way. I'm asking if we can file for the green card if the amounts are only made above the poverty guidelines for the past year. Instead of that, it's the same thing you're asking. So you're asking if the person only has, so okay, so you're asking if the person, even though you filed taxes all these 3 years, the most recent year, which is 2022, is when they were able to make above the minimum, the guidelines as requested. So can you use just that, or do you have to include the other years in order for them to meet the requirement income minimum and be a sponsor? Does that summarize that? If that's the case, then you're not required. What matters is the most recent year. So you don't even have to include 2021 and 2020. It says optional. If you look at the form, it's optional. And 2022 is what you need. If they made above the public guidelines, you're good to go with your W-2 forms and recent pay stubs. Can I file if I recently just got married and we have not applied for anything, and then my husband starts to abuse me? Generally, yes, but I would say go ahead and sit down with a lawyer. Okay, guys, we will pick back up on Thursday. It is a great month. It's going to be an excellent month. This last quarter of 2023, we're going to agree in faith that God is going to show up for us and show off on our behalf beyond what we've ever seen in our past. Our past will not be better than what's coming for us and what God has in store for us. So get ready, y'all. It's going to be an excellent last quarter. We're going to agree in faith that we would not have any reason to look back and say, oh my God, tell it. It would be a case where, thank God that I don't look like what I went through in my past. Thank God for what he's about to do in the future. Thank God for the blessings he's about to rain upon me and upon my family. Thank God because he's about to make ways beyond what I can even ask or think. Thank God because I know he hasn't forgotten me and he has shown me favor. Thank God because I know those who are going to decide on anything concerning me or my children or anything that concerns me and my matter. That thank God because I would find favor before them. We've got to speak it before we see it. And I believe and I declare in Jesus' name that it shall be just as our heart's desires. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. God knows beyond what we say. He knows what our hearts are saying. And as long as we believe that our best days are ahead of us or not behind us, it shall work out collectively together in our